Hi guys, so I'm on my way out of Zambia and I'm really sad, like I should even be crying right now. But it's been such an amazing journey, and as I wind up, because so I'm like with my best friend over here and she's a historian. So I have like this question that I think part of my stay here I've been able to kind of learn a few things, so I'll simply be asking her questions and then she'll be responding. So you will be engaged in this conversation. Let us know if there's anything you'd want to add in this particular conversation, anything that she might miss, or yeah, whatever you might add to us. So yeah, so in a few I think we'll just be talking and also as a way to say bye to each other. Yes. I think the other thing I wanted to share is, so Zambia is 1 hour behind of East Africa. Is that so? Yeah, so like for example, if Tanzania is 4 p.m. right now, then it means it's 3 p.m. here. So like they're 1 hour behind the East African time. The other thing is that the weather here, it's so like you can see from what I'm able to show you, the weather can be so hot. Like right now it's a bit hot, but it's gonna rain, I'm sure, in the next 30 to 1 hour. The other thing is people are so kind. I think I've really enjoyed my stay. There's plenty of food. Yeah, I think that's like my highlight for my stay here. But also just meeting a few people that I've known for quite some time and haven't met them in person. Also visiting the Kenyan High Commissioner in Zambia was really something. I met very smart ladies who works for the commissioner, and they were well receptive, and I got to talk to them and tell them what I do and how I do it, and they were like in awe and in support of what I do. So I'm really excited. Even as I leave, I am having lots of memories to carry with me. So guys, again, wanted to share that. Leave travel worries behind. Okay. That's a good one. And then welcome to Kenneth Kaunda Airport. So if you get somewhere to park for a few minutes, you can do that. Okay, so guys, so this is like I said, it's my last stay. So she's dropping me at the airport. Then there are 5 things I've picked about this country, like Zambia. One of the things is that I really got confused when every time we are talking about time, then they use the 24-hour clock system. Like right now, what time would you say it is?
It's about 13:48.
Yes, and in the evening, let's say it's at 6 p.m. How do you call that?
It's 18 hours.
18 hours. We are not used to that. So for us, it's 6 p.m. Like right now, we would say it's 1:30, But then they use the 24-hour clock system. So every time I had to like calculate in my head what time that is, and I missed it at some point. That is one. Number 2. But why is that though?
We just use the 24-hour clock. That's it.
You were born using that because even the children use that.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is on the word knockoff. So every time someone is from work or students are from school, they say, oh, they knocked off. Like everyone, even children. So I'm like, knocked off. Did they knock some? So why? They knocked off. And everyone is using that word.
Yes.
It means what? I know it's an English word, like a phrase, but then what does it mean exactly?
It means someone is coming back from work.
Okay.
Yeah,
so new word, new phrase.
Around 6 or 7 p.m.
Okay. New phrase there. The other thing, so the ugali, I don't know if you guys know ugali, but Kenyans do know ugali, Ugandans and Tanzanians. The ugali is called ishima, and it's like just the same. The only difference is
it's softer.
It's softer. Yes. But on a very specific level, she's a historian, just like I said. She's called Sheena, by the way. Yeah, she's my bestie. And I wanted to ask her one question. I read somewhere that World War I ended in Zambia, and I think I got really worried, because I think most of the documentations we read, it doesn't read that. It doesn't say anything about Africa being very active in the World War I ending and even the start of World War II. But then she's a historian, and then she has a very good perspective. So maybe you can let us know where in Zambia and how.
Okay. So I think most literature shows that World War I or the Great War ended in Africa, but doesn't specify that it ended in Abercorn, which is Mbala today.
What is Abercorn? Is it a...
Abercorn is a colonial name for that town.
Okay.
Yes, but today it's Mbala. The reason is that Mbala was closer, or Abercorn was closer to Tanganyika, which is Tanzania today.
Okay.
So there is a catch here, because Tanzania is German's colony, German East Africa, while Namibia is German West Africa. So German East Africa was closer on the border on the north to Zambia, to Mbala. So there was a lot of German influence in there. And there were a lot of guerrilla fighters, like Germans had recruited people from their territories, within that territory. And then the war that began in Europe in 1914, Africa became involved because it incorporated their colonies. So every colony was fighting on behalf of their master. Yeah, so Abercorn became special because there was a lot of trade involvement at the border, but also a neighbor to German's colony, the main belligerent in the war. Yeah, so Germany was on the offensive side, and on the defense there was Britain, France, and the other allied powers. So in Abercorn, there was so much fighting such that the locals, we had young women, men involved. It's now been recently documented. They were called the potters, or in our language, the tengas. They would carry pottery, like food for people in the war zone, help out carry weapons and whatnot. So that's how Mbala or Abercorn was actively involved in the war. So on 11 November 1918, the armistice was signed in Europe to end the war that started in 1914, 28 July. So when the armistice was signed, there was wailing in Europe. Apparently the last bullet was shot in Abercorn in Mbala.
That is in Zambia,
That
right?
is in Zambia.
But where did you read that? You even know the date. How did you know that?
Research, but also my friend Daliso Daniel Piri wrote an MA on how Mbala was incorporated in the Great War. Yes. So that last bullet in 2018, it was 100 years. So my friend, he's a scholar, he felt that it was important at 100 years to carry out research. Especially that our secondary school pupils don't even know that the Great War was in Zambia. And that's what they've been trying to put in curriculum developers. They're trying to rewrite their history. They're trying to tell the curriculum development center that this is what we can tell our children. It wasn't a European war, it was an African war. The impact was in Africa. Yes.
Awesome. Well said. I hope, but then my other question would then be, what impact did this have in Africa, especially in the Zambian, country? Because, and then what are some of the things that shows that actually the World War I ended in Zambia? What's there to show?
Okay, in Mbala there is a memorial, a World War I memorial. It's there, but also the impact of the war was destructive. First of all. Like every other area, war is just destructive. Death, loss of lives, displacement, because they ran a policy of the colonial masters conscription. So everyone under 18 to 40 years, they come to your house, and if they are young men at your door or at your house, they get them, they incorporate them in the war. So that distorted families and whatnot. On the World War I didn't have a positive impact much on Zambia compared to World War II. World War II was more positive on Zambia.
Or like, for example, what are some of the positive things that we're able to see as a result of
the
World
copper
War?
prices shot because bullets, the copper belt were producing copper bullets to sell to the Allied forces. Yes, the Allied forces were getting copper bullets, armaments. So that was a great impact. And also maize from farmers, food was being sold for the war zones. Yes, but in the Great War, it wasn't much. And then I was in Livingstone. Livingstone is was a missionary. And then they put up the soldiers on his monument of people who fought in the Great War, also known as the First World War. There are only European names written. Yeah, but I know my colleague interviewed Africans who were in the war, like they are 100 years old. I think their NRCs, their national ID was showing 100 years old. Yeah, they were there, they participated. There was a collaboration there, but none of them features in those statues. They are only there's only the memorial of those who lost their lives. General what?
Are some of those people alive?
The ones that Liso interviewed, they are alive, and they are so old. They were about 101 in 2019. And for the ethics to approve his research, they had to get their national IDs. Yeah, because they told him that you can't find them because it's 100 years since the war. Yeah.
All right. Anything that we're missing? Maybe I don't know, but maybe you guys can ask those questions. She will be on the comment section to respond to your questions. But then just know that just like she puts it, World War I was not a European.
It wasn't a European war.
Yeah, it was more of African war.
Yeah.
It ended in Africa, but especially in Zambia. And I think there's a lake. Which lake is that has got guns that were thrown in that lake?
Lake Bangwewu.
Which in which part of Zambia?
The same northern part of Zambia.
So it has. Does it still have those guns like that were thrown in those particular areas?
Right now, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know they have World War memorials.
So probably has got something like to show that actually happened. Right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys learned something. And Sheena has been quite a very bright historian, and she shares a lot of her insights on what that looks like, especially in the Zambian context. So see you guys in a few, and thank you so much for watching my previous video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.
I fear I'll just drop you, then you go. But if I go
yes, so we are here at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Kia. I didn't check my ticket to which terminal we need to go to. What do you think? But I think it's one. I'm not VIP, so should remain the same. Do they pay parking fee?
just under. They pay, but if you overstay.
Overstay. So for us, maybe we don't have to.
Yeah, the other time I didn't want to. Hi, Chimunya. Good. Yes, I'm fine.
What does Chimunya mean?
Chimunya means the same. Like me, I'm Chimunya because all my
but also
siblings are
Ivy is
girls.
Chimunya.
No, she's Chinyama.
Chinyama.
It means we are all the same in the family. You're all girls.
Okay. It's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. We're just the same. We are girls. Let's see. That's Chimuka's friend. Chimuka, it means we're born overdue. Like my husband. Instead of coming out at 9 months exactly, maybe there were weeks that passed.